Join TWR in 2023. TWR Monday Madness. Stay tuned at the end for new upcoming events. How's TWR doing thus far? Before we get into the normal trades like I show you, I want you guys to understand, man, we are a well-rounded and full-rounded trading platform, okay? We truly have something for everyone. And I want to show you guys our TWR Penny Portfolio Challenge. We are up 4.83% since we started this at the beginning of the year. And those that are members of Traders War Room get the plays, get the trades, and get the updates. So if you're into penny stocks, join Traders War Room and come trade with me. It's not just about options, guys. We do everything, anything that makes money, man, whether it's regular equities, derivatives, crypto, futures, Forex, and we even have sports betting, man. Something for everybody and every style. Ahead and got into Ford last week at 55. And by the way, don't forget, time and date stamp on all the alerts because we keep that stuff 100 around these parts. Went ahead and secured some, $11 per contract. Left some with a loose stop loss since it's still downtrending. We can always come back to it, make some more money, but you got to protect the profits. When you're green, you're green. Bring that stop loss above break even, and it's a risk-free trade. ATVI, this was a day trade, and it ended up being a swing trade. This was one of our earnings trade. We went ahead and got into this at 155. And here, you'll notice this looks a little different. I'm showing off our instant message alerts platform. Guys, we have that instant message alerts there because unlike the Discord, it's less noise and just alerts. Guys, the Discord is our flagship, and of course, the Discord has more stuff. You know, a lot more bots that run, a lot more Twitter feeds, a lot more algorithms, a lot more alerts. But some people like the simplicity of the instant message platform, so of course, you know we got you covered, guys. We went ahead and sold some of our ATVI at $2. And, of course, you remember that was that 155 entry. Sell out main position at $2. That makes it $45 per contract. And our running total thus far is 56 on the day. And next up, we'll go ahead and talk about our SPY trade. We originally did this as a day trade. We went ahead and swung some. We got the entry in that 408 put at 149. Secured some, left some, ended up going $45 per contract at our secure price. That would bring our running total to 101 on the day. Now, guys, mind you, that's per contract. Assumption on total is at least one trade per alert, near or at my entry and exit. $100 to $1,000 per day is possible when you're a TWR market warrior. So quit wasting money. That's not making money. Join TWR. The links are in the description. What's hot and what's not. So the top trending news is the Wall Street looking for stocks to drop 30% from here, says strategist Dave Rosenberg. And if you guys don't know who this is, he's a very well-known, renowned, and pretty consistent and accurate analyst. And so usually when he says things, he's put a lot of work and a lot of DD into it. And so it's kind of a good thing. Now, it doesn't necessarily always come out true, but definitely if he's saying, you know, expecting a drop, more than likely we're probably going to jump down a little bit. And he says don't even think about turning bullish until like 2024. And then this could all tie into, of course, the president's State of the Union speech tomorrow, where he's actually going to talk about tax on corporate stock buybacks in the state. And he wants to push it at like quadrupling the percentage of the corporate buybacks, which could affect some of the bullishness in the market because a lot of these companies that have been getting beat up, they're buying back heavily because the stock is so low and they can push a lot of money into it. However, if it's going to be a higher increase in the taxes on buybacks, they may not be able to come in there as much and as deep, and that would affect, of course, the market and the bullishness of those particular corporations that are wanting to propose those buybacks. So definitely big information coming tomorrow. I'm interested to see how the market's going to react after the State of the Union. Some other news that's noteworthy, and I want you guys to be well versed in what's going on in the world as well. You got China's BIDU, right, is finishing up the Chat GPT style project called ErnieBot. Basically, Microsoft's Chat GPT, which is kind of, doing that AI search engine thing like Google uses and trying to replicate that type of thing. Well, they're pushing it over there in China as well. So this definitely could put a little competition into this space and could also spark up some decent volatility in these particular artificial intelligent Chinese stocks. And if you haven't been paying attention, guys, you have been hearing a lot more about the Indian marketplace getting a lot more revamping and stuff like this. Keep your eye on the Indian the Indian stock market, because these guys are coming out swinging and they're starting to get a lot of buzz, especially over here with some of their particular ETFs that are going on. So definitely might be a good boom catalyst to start making some money, because with China and certain stipulations going on in Asia and over there in Europe, India is wide open, and we got a good working relationship with a lot of these countries that are over in that area, and it could be some decent money for us to make, especially if we catch the boom early and ride the wave. Market kind of had a flat day today. Every sector ended up red. We'll look for a little bit of a potential push going into tomorrow, but the President's State of the Union speech will determine how the market's going to react. So you get some bullish news, expect for the bullish momentum to the upside. If we get some of the bearish news or some news that definitely affects some of the bigger cap stocks and some of the mega techs, we'll look for some downtrending pressure. Here's your futures, looking green, but you know as well as I do, man, we look at the futures and we take this as a strategy on what to prepare for tomorrow. But we always know that the market will change every single day when that bell rings, and what is current right now may not be current in the morning, and definitely may not be current when 9:30 hits and that bell rings in Wall Street. And here's some of your unusual option activity, and we're definitely paying attention to a lot of these big moving tickers. We like that Tesla, we like that NVDA, we like the Google, Norwegian Cruise Line could be good in there, ATVI, paying attention, and UAA, guys. Keep your eye on UAA, okay? With this XFL coming into play after the NFL season, and The Rock being one of the main components, it only makes sense that UAA would get the contract to supply the uniforms for the XFL. So just pay attention to that, okay? That could be a big, huge catalyst for Under Armour, all right? Here's some of the top implied volatility as far as equities are concerned, guys. This is where we make our money, okay? If you're not paying attention to implied volatility, you got to pay attention to implied volatility, all right? These are the things that will move and shake. Specifically with options, implied volatility is part of the extrinsic value. And if you didn't watch my video, the tech video I did over the weekend, you need to watch that one so you understand clearly how extrinsic and intrinsic value play into our option trades. But if we're looking at equities, we pay attention to the high IV in equities, because higher implied volatility is expecting a dramatic move. And a lot of these tickers are cheap, and we can go in deep, ride waves, sometimes 2x, 3x, make our money, and then exit out with a fantastic trade. And here's your 15 top tickers that are on most people's watch list, guys. We got Bed Bath & Beyond is in there again, AMC. Pins, of course, they had earnings and they didn't do so well, kind of, took a dump after hours. We got that AI, guys, the AI stuff I've been talking to you. I even did a video on AI for a tech video. Go and check out that video on YouTube and see what's popping in this artificial intelligence and robotics industry. This is a disruptor type of industry that you can get in at the ground level. You might have to wait a little bit, but believe me, the wait will pay off in the long run if you got the patience to wait it out. Definitely paying attention to some of those, and we're going to look at some of these charts here in a moment. Stocks I like for trades. All right, let's start out with SPY. I'm thinking that we get the cool down and the retest of the 405 area. So I'm bearish on this short term. If we can hold the bottom level and find some support, we could bounce and then go on to retest, the 420 area. But until we get that confirmation of the bounce, we have to respect the trend, and the trend is pointing to the downside. BIDU, this could be huge with their AI program that's going on with China, but with current relations and that balloon thing that just happened, I think we got some downtrending pressure, and I would not be surprised if we go retest those 130s. And with that in mind, let's get into a free trade idea. And this is the trade I'm looking for on this particular ticker. I'm going to look at that 135 put pushing out to at least February 17th. I'd like to go out into the March time frame, but the premiums are pretty juiced. So if I see the momentum and I see the trend and it makes sense, this is the trade I most likely would get into. And of course, I'll alert it on the platforms if I get in it. So if you want to follow me on this trade, join TWR Premium and you can follow me along as we get into this trade, when I get into it, at what level I get into it, and when I exit for profit. Watch this one for a recovery play. Huge drop on earnings. They didn't do very well. Took a nosedive, sitting around $16 or so, but it's a popular ticker, and this one could easily recover a little bit, at least before it goes another leg down. So I'm looking for the bounce play on this one, and if we see the momentum, we'll go ahead and pull the trigger. I think looking at this chart, it's too much too quick, and I'm going to look for the cool down. And in fact, we're going to go ahead and give you another free trade alert. All right, so here's your top and bottom triggers. This is going to be one that we got a trigger play. So I'm going to give you both a long and a short option. And depending on the trigger and the momentum we get, if we trigger to the top, we're going to go ahead and go with our call option. And if we trigger to the bottom, we're going to go ahead and go with the put option. If the top line triggers, we're going to go ahead and look at the $40 call. We're pushing out until March, okay? So it's a little elevated in price, but we want to make sure we give ourselves some time. This one has a decent volume, has a nice delta to theta ratio, and for the price, it seems a good risk versus reward if we get the uptrending continuation. If we trigger to the downside, we're going to go ahead and look at this one, $20 put, pushing out again until March. Again, I like the delta to theta ratio, has a decent volume, and we don't need it to push all the way down to the $20 range. We just need it to move in our direction so we can make some money off of this. So definitely, you got your top and you got your bottom, and we got a plan for action. And like I was talking about earlier, UAA is on my radar, and the earnings and the XFL possibilities got me bullish on this. I do think we might see a little bit of downtrending sliding, but this would make a fantastic lotto trade, probably to the call side, to hold through earnings. So I'll be looking for that, seeing if they got some decent cheap contracts that look like they'd be right to pop. Uber, classic case of too much too soon. I'm expecting some downtrending pressure. Now, Uber is being queued as the better of the two options, the Uber and the Lyft. Okay, Uber's already profitable and they have a bigger market share and they got more options as far as their business underlining. However, that's probably not going to take away for some subpar earnings. And I do think that we're going to see a slide in this particular ticker, and I'll be looking for probably some lotto puts on this one as we move into and through earnings. Pins definitely did disappoint on some earnings. It took a nosedive on earnings. So with this one, we're going to follow the trend, okay? It could easily get a nice little bounce play and kind of recoup some of that loss that it had, but it looks like it has a lot of downtrending pressure, so we might have another leg down going on this. It's definitely been way lower than it is currently, and it's had a nice little run here recently. So we're looking for this to probably push to the downside a little bit more. And with that said, we're probably going to look for the put action, especially if we get that continuation downtrending pressure. And we're going to go ahead and end this with Tesla. I'm thinking that we cool down a bit and find some support levels. So we've been on a tear with this. We definitely got some gaps to fill, but I do think that we're cooling off a little bit with our volume. It's not pushing as much and as dramatically. So that tells me that we're looking at some of the top line exhaustion, and we should be cooling down and coming back to reality a little bit. And I would think, 180, 185, somewhere in that range is definitely viable on this particular ticker, and I'll be looking for the downward play. That's it, team. Don't forget. And one of our most anticipated classes is already set, guys. 19 February, 1 p.m. Central Standard Time, $25 gets you a seat. It's a 2-hour class, and every purchase gets the recording. We have our guest instructor, Diesel Trades, and he's going to come in here and teach you guys how his fast-paced, big volume, and big payday style in how to day trade, reading candles, volume, and momentum. This is definitely a class you don't want to miss, and we've been getting DMs after DMs asking, hey, when's this class coming? When's this class coming? When's this class coming? Well, guys, you're hearing it from me right here. 19 February, you go to the website, traderswarroom.com/upcoming classes. The link's right there. Sign up, register today. I'll see you in class on 19 February. Traders War Room Trading University is happy to announce open registration for our next option fundamental course. Did Wall Street make you feel like a complete loser in 2022? Or was everything going great and you blinked just for a split second and got repeatedly kicked in the you-know-what over and over again? TWR is here to help you. Our university's fundamental course is an in-depth 5-week-long course that's done live via Zoom platform. Our virtual classroom is where you can interact with the instructor, other students, or see copies of the classes right there on the platform and rivals that of traditional online education. Testimonials from previous class graduates are proof that our cradle-to-the-grave approach works in giving you consistently profitable skills to trade options. Registration is open today. Links are in the description or go to traderswarroom.com. I will see you there. Let's go to war. Traders War Room is your one-stop shop. Try our TWR one-to-one mentoring. Does the market have you feeling like this? Or wanting to rip your hair out while you watch your account dwindle? If that's you, then Traders War Room has you covered. Our one-to-ones focus on you as a trader or investor. The Zoom session connects you with a TWR professional. Whether we're covering charts, developing a plan of attack, or being strategic and deep diving on the how, why, and execution of trade plans. TWR one-to-ones will give you the confidence to attack, conquer, destroy, and make the market bend the knee in 2023. Join TWR and bow to no one. Book your session today. The link is in the description or on the website at traderswarroom.com. Let's go to war. Join the TWR Investment Club. Check out our free chat to learn more. Make the market bend the knee in 2023. Join TWR and bow to no one. The link is in the description or on the website at traderswarroom.com. Let's go to war.